Thanks for joining today's Pilates PT session. Today we're going to do a quick 30-minute workout that's going to get you feeling like you've worked every muscle in your body. So we're going to get started in standing with some squats, so toes pointing forwards, hip distance apart, and then sitting back as if you're sitting into a chair and then coming straight back up. We're going to be floating the arms forwards and then squeezing them back. So we're going to take them full range. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades as we push back and squeezing and releasing. And then we're going to go for 4 more here. Last 2. And last 1. And then coming straight back through. Now we're going to take the feet out into second position now. Hands can rest onto hips, we'll roll the shoulders back and round. And we're going to go down into some squats from here. So we're going to be pushing the knees out as much as you can. Going out over the top of the toes. Squeezing through the bottom muscles to keep the hips open from the front. We're opening our collarbones as if they're smiling and just dropping sitting bones straight down towards the floor. We'll go for 5 more. And last 3. And then after this next one, we're going to be holding it down. From here, we're going to go in for little pulses. So just squeezing here into pulses. Keep pushing the knees out, you'll feel the burn. Keep the collarbones open, abs drawn in. And then we're going to release through from there. Now we're going to step it out into a lunge position. You're going to step back with one leg, the toes will be planted. You're going to have your legs in line. And then when you're ready, we're going to drop down towards the floor with this back knee. So just dropping the knee straight to the floor and then coming back up. Collarbones stay open, abs are drawn in, but then you take our arms in front of us and we start to twist over our front knee. So we'll rotate and twist and come back round. We'll go for 4 more. And last 1. And then coming straight back up and changing legs. So stepping it straight back into your lunge position. Back heel is up, chest is lifted, abs are drawn in. You're dropping down with the back knee towards the floor, keeping a nice tall posture through the rest of the body. Then take the arms out in front. Now we're going to twist over that backwards knee. So twisting down over the back leg. Last 4. And last 1. And then coming back through. Now coming back up to your neutral stance position. So feet are hip distance apart. From here we're going to drop back into our squat. We're going to hold it here. We're just going to keep this position for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to start to take it into some pulses. So this is going to be a little bit of a burner now. We're going to finish off a bit of a leg circuit here before moving on to abs and core. So holding the squat, keeping it here. Then we're going to press our arms back. And now we're going to do little beats up towards the ceiling. Just take our mind off the legs. Going to keep squeezing the hands upwards. Keep the beats going. Squeeze the back of the shoulders. Open the chest. And then now we're going to hold it back with the arms. Now we're going to do little pulses, so tiny pulses up and down so you can go a little bit deeper into it. Going to go for 10 more pulses. And then you can release through from there and shake the legs out a little bit from here. Now we're going to go into our roll down and we'll come straight out into a plank position. So come into the ends of your mats, toes pointing forwards, nice tall posture. When you're ready, slowly starting into your roll down, so tucking the chin to the chest, curling all the way forwards, nice and easy into a roll down. When you get to the bottom, just relax, go really floppy like a rag doll. Take a few breaths here in and out. You can rock the weight forwards a bit more into your toes, and then rock the weight backwards towards your heels. We'll go both directions. Gently rocking And then come back to your neutral position and we're going for pendulum swings. So just letting your hips do a little bit of a swivel, as if you're wagging a tail. Let the body go really floppy here. And then coming back to center. And then we'll slowly roll back up. So tucking tailbone underneath you. Really squeeze through the glutes, roll the pelvis all the way back. And then just restacking one vertebrae at a time. Rolling the shoulders back and round, last one, and then we're going to walk it straight out. So when you're ready, bring your chin to your chest, stretch the neck. And then slowly one vertebrae at a time, rolling all the way down. Opening the spine like it's dinosaur spikes. And we're opening out every single spike. Going down to the bottom, going nice and heavy into your ragdoll hang. Again, we'll rock the weight forwards and backwards. And then find that mid position. And then into pendulum swings around to the sides. Getting really floppy, nice and heavy, like a ragdoll. And then coming back to center, bring the hands to the mat. And then you're going to walk it straight out in front of you into a hands and knees position. So from here now, I'm going to get you just to come all the way up to the front of your mat. Middle fingers pointing forward, hands nicely spread. We're going to push our chest away from the floor, so we get a nice big push up through here. We're going to keep the knees underneath the hips. We'll lengthen through the lower back by pulling up through the abdominals. Then when you're ready, tuck your toes under, float the knees just off, and we'll hold this position here. So this is just really a warm up for your plank. We're getting strong through our shoulders and our arms. I'm feeling like I'm squeezing my armpits down towards my hips as I do this exercise here. Keep normal. And then release back down. Okay, so from here now, we're going to take it out into a little bit more of a plank. So we're going to stretch one leg straight back, stretch the other leg straight back, lengthen through the chest. We've pushed up away from the floor again. Now we're going to lengthen one toe across the mat as far as it can reach. Then I'm going to slowly lift up the leg into our leg pull exercise and then come back and change. So sliding the toe across the mat first, lengthen the leg, then lift as though it's being pulled away from you, and then lower back down. Now as you're swapping over from left to right leg, I want you to think about your pelvis. I want your pelvis to stay nice and still, as though you've got a little tray of drinks resting on your lower back and your hips. So making sure you don't tip your hips left or right, or up or down. And then you think about your shoulders. You're still squeezing your armpits towards your hips. You're feeling a good connection through the back of the arms as you do this. We're going to go for 4 more. And then make this next one your last one. And then relax back into a child's pose. So take the knees nice and wide, bottom back to the heels, and then drop down into a nice stretch. Okay. And then, so we're going to go into our Superman plank next. So to start with, you'll bring your hands closer together, so they'll be a little bit more into the midline. Then from here, you're going to stretch your legs back one by one. And to begin with, just get that push up from the floor with your upper body. Start to stretch one arm in front of you, and then slowly bring the arm back in, change to the other side. Now, as you do this exercise, you're going to feel lots of twists going on through the torso. This is where I want you to keep your pelvis nice and still again, as though there's that little tray of drinks resting into your lower back. Now, if you're feeling comfortable from there, we're going to start to take opposite arm and leg away. So, reaching away with the opposite arm and leg, we're holding the plank, and then slowly bring it back in, and then we'll change to the opposite side. So this is where it gets wobbly. You'll find you'll have one side that's stronger than the other. You need to keep your balance. See if you can hold it. just for a couple of seconds. And then relax back once more. Then we're going to roll all the way up. And now from here we're going to go into a kneeling repertoire for your glutes. So you come all the way up into high kneeling. From here we'll lower down to one hand. Stretch the top leg straight out. We'll step through our body position. So shoulders are level, we're in line with our hip. Then when you're ready, you're going to lift your top leg up so it's at your hip height. And then from here, we're going to lift up and down. So you're going to do nice little squeezes here. We're going to be drawing in through the abs the whole time as you lift. You're lengthening the leg away. You want the leg to feel quite relaxed, quite heavy. So the work happens from the crease of the hip as you're lifting, and you're keeping your pelvis nice and still here. Keep lifting through your obliques, your lower weights. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. So you've got a lovely top line position as you're doing these little pulses up and down. Now we're going to take it into little circles. This gets a little bit wobblier for the hips, so keeping the hips nice and still. Circling around. And then we'll change direction and go the other way. So swapping the direction of your circle now. You should start to feel this into your glutes. You may even feel it on the lower side glutes as well as the top side. Last one here. And then bend back through. And then we'll change to the other side. So coming up to high kneeling. Being in a nice alignment, you'll just lean over to one hand. Keep the shoulders nicely stacked. Obliques are lifted, shoulder blades are down. Lift the top leg up to hip height. Then from there, just those little pulses up and down. You're going to be feeling this into your glutes. So you want to feel it coming from the crease of your hip to get the movement. And you don't want to feel that the outside of the leg is tightening and working here. So nice little squeezes, up and down, little pulses. And then from there we're going to circle it. So you're going to draw nice circles around the leg. And then we're going to change direction. We're going to go the opposite way. Keep the circles going, keep the pelvis locked in. Enjoy the burn for this last few. And then when you're ready, rest back in. Next, the next set of exercises. So you're going to be lying straight down onto your side. Your bottom arm will go straight out in front of you, and then the top hand is going to come up behind the head. So you're going to go up into your jackknives. So we've lengthened both legs away, and then when you're ready from there, we're going to lift through the top half of the body, and the legs are going to lift at the same time. And then we lower back down, and we're going to keep this moving. So it's a little lift, and then lower. And we're going to take lots of care to think about getting your top rib and hip to come together for this exercise. And then we're going to come up to the top and hold. We're going to stay there. Then we're going to go for pulses. So we're going to pulse it up. And we'll go for 10 more pulses. And then release back down. Now we'll change it through to the other side. So swapping straight over. And move my cushion out of the way. So bottom arm is down in front of you. Top hand behind the head. Lengthen the legs away. And then when you're ready, you push down, we lift through. And then release. You'll take your time. You're focusing on pulling the rib and the hip together and getting lots of height here into your jackknife. We're going to take it for 2 more, and then on this next one we're going to hold all the way up and hold it there. And when you're ready, we're going to pulse the tiny pulses at the top. We'll keep this going. 5 more. And then relax back down. And now I'm going to roll onto your back. So I'll grab my head cushion now just for a little bit of comfort. So when you're on your back from here, we're going to take you into a neutral curve for your lower back. Interlock your hands, bring your hands behind your head, elbows up to your periphery, shoulders down. Take a nice deep breath in, open the ribs wide, and then as you're breathing out, we're slowly going to curl up, and then inhale to lower. And as you're doing this, I want you to really make sure that you keep your neck nice and relaxed. So imagine I'm holding a peach underneath my chin, so my chin's slightly tucked, and I'm going to maintain holding this peach. Breathe out to come up, inhale to lower, exhale, come back up. And then now we're going to flatten our lower back. So you'll tuck the tailbone, squeeze the abs into the mat. Continue to curl up with a flat lower back. Check the pelvis doesn't move. Slowly float one leg up at the same time. Slowly float the other leg up. You're on double tabletop, zip the legs together. And then keep your double tabletop now as we go through our abdo prep here. So breathing out to come up, inhale to lower, exhale, crunch up. Then start to take into crisscross. So you're going to stretch one leg away as we twist the stationary knee, come back through. And then twist. Slightly modified version as we're going to be lowering down with the body in between. Using your breath to help you. So you're breathing out as you twist. Neck is staying all the work from our middle of our back, so we're getting that twist through the torso. The ribs are rotating around and dropping down towards the hips. We'll go for one more. And then bring it back in. Bring the knees into the chest for a little bit of a hug. And then from there, we're going to go into your teaser exercise next. So zipping the legs together, float the arms up overhead, take a breath in. As you're breathing out, we're going to curl up, roll to our sitting bones, and stretch the arms and legs together. Bend the knees, slowly roll back down one vertebra at a time, and then in your own time, breathing out to come up, stretching the arms and legs, and then folding back through. I'm trying to keep the shoulder blades down as you do this exercise. It's quite easy to take the shoulder blades up to feel like you're pressing something down here. Last one. Coming through, and then taking a very quick rest. We're then going to work onto our arms. Arms are going to be behind you. I like to have my fingers pointing towards my hips, but if you prefer them the opposite way, you're more than welcome to for this one. So we're going to go into your reverse leg pull. So we're going to push our chest up and away, stretch the legs out in front of you, and then you're going to bridge your hips up into this position. If you struggle with your arms, you can always have the knees bent for a different version, but otherwise you're going to try and keep this nice tall posture. So neck is long, I'm not looking up too much. We're going to tuck the tailbone under, and then when you're ready, floating one leg up, lowering down, and then changing to the opposite side. So you'll feel this in your shoulders and through the arms. You're going to feel it down the back of the legs, into the bottom muscles, and then abdominals should be working really hard to help keep that tuck of the tailbone and your core engaged and lifted. So use your abdominals to help lift through the hips. And then take a quick rest through from there. It's quite a tough one, the exercise. Now we're going to go into a teaser twist. So we're going to add in our side jackknife, rotating all the way around into your teaser position. So for this one, we start back onto the side. We're all the way to the side. Arm now is, rather than being right in front of you, I tend to have it just on a slight angle, just a little bit higher than the shoulder. From here, the top arm reaches long overhead. We reach the legs out, they're lifted, and then I'm going to cross the ankles over. Then from here, when I'm ready, I'm going to come up like I did with the side jackknife. Then I'm going to rotate onto the back of my hip. I'm pushing down to my arm, and I bring my hands and my feet together. And then I open back out, roll to the side of the hip, and open all the way, nice and long. So again, coming through up to teaser, bring the arms and legs together, keep them crossed, open into the side lying position, and then coming all the way through. So it takes a little bit of balance, as well as a little bit of core for this one. So we've got loads of oblique work, loads of rectus abdominis work, so we're really working through the whole core here. And we'll go for 2 more on this side. And then you know what's coming next. We're going to do it all over again on the other side. And then lengthen and relax. Now change it through. So we're swapping over to the opposite side. So arm again is a little bit higher than shoulder height as we're reaching out. Legs are going to lift, we're going to cross the ankles. Top arm reaches overhead. When you're ready, we're going to rotate to the back of the hips and come through. And then open out to the side of the hip again, lengthening. And then lifting, bringing the arms and legs together. Keeping the ankles crossed and then lengthen away. Feel the expansion into the ribs as you open out in between. I always think of this being a bit like a flower bud. We've closed the bud and now we're opening and stretching, lengthening out our petals and then coming all the way back through. We'll aim for 4 more. Magic number today. Last 2, open, stretch, and reach. And then be very glad. Last one, make it your best. And lengthen all the way out. And then relax. And then now we're going to roll to our backs. Once more, I'm going to grab my head cushion again. And then from here, I'm just going to float my arms up from this rest position. Let the shoulder blades go nice and heavy. And then I'm going to go into scissor arms where we take one arm overhead and one arm down. Now slide into the mat if you can. Drop the ribs down into a ribcage closure. And then just reach both arms as long as they can go. And then if you're feeling comfortable here, we're going to push into the mat with our hands. So you're pushing down with both hands. Feel the ribs closing, feel the abdominals pulling in. And then we float back up and then change over. So slide the arms away. Go as far as you feel you can initially. See if there's a difference between sides. Focus now on ribcage closure. Drop the ribs down, tighten through the core, and then press into the arms. So pushing down through the back of the shoulders. You might feel a little bit of a stretch in the top arm, the one that's reaching overhead. And then bring it back through center. Give the arms a little bit of a hug across the chest. And then arms will just go down just a bit higher than waist height now. Knees and ankles squeeze together. And then we're going to rock left and right into a little hip twist. We're going to try and keep our shoulders down, opening the waist as much as you can. And then coming back through center. cross the ankle over the knee, pull in towards you for a stretch. Breathe into it, relax. The hard work has now been done. And then we'll change legs. Again, just breathing into stretch. And then releasing. And then you're going to slide one leg straight out, reach the other leg up, grab behind as high as you can up the leg. Push both knees into a locked position. Feel the stretch, and now we're just going to flex at the ankle and point. And then release, change to the other leg. Just bring the knee into your chest. Walk your hands up as high as you can. Straighten both knees out as much as you can. And then again, just pointing and flexing through the ankle. Trying as hard as you can to keep the knees locked. And then release. And then now we're going to roll over to a hands and knees position. And we're just going to go in through your cat stretch. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. We're going to round up into our angry cat, tucking under as much as we can. And then release into a happy cat. So keep the neck long, we open the chest, lift up as high as you can. And then back through into angry cat. And then releasing, last happy cat here. And then from the happy cat position, I'm going to get you just to walk your hands out in front of you and go down a bit like dolphin pose. So we'll rest the forehead down, keep the hips over the top of the knees and feel a stretch through the arms. And then now push your hips back towards your heels. So you push back to a child's pose. Stay nice and heavy. And slowly unraveling, coming all the way up into a seated position. We'll go for some shoulder rolls around. Lift the sternum up nice and high, and then relax. Well done.